Thank you, REM, my favorite band of all time, with one of their lesser-known songs and albums, "Around the Sun." When I first heard "Around the Sun," I was not the biggest fan of the song, but gradually it's grown on me a little bit, and it's an appropriate song for today, since today is my 47th birthday. I don't think I've ever done a show on my birthday. Again, another first for 12. So I figured, oh, come on, your connection is unstable. Are we starting this already? Thank you. So figured I would start, see if this would be another good one to start with. And it's on my birthday. So fantastic. So, yep, today, June 20th, 2020, was my 47th birthday. Low-key day, birthday and quarantine sort of stuff. Today was community day in Pokemon Go, so I spent most of my day doing that. Went for a walk with my wife when we were doing the Pokemon Go stuff. Answered a lot of social media thank yous, and thank you for everybody on social media and texts and letters and stuff like that I've been receiving for my 47th birthday. Oh, I left my ring upstairs. Oh, well, it's okay. I'll get it later. Really nothing much. Got some good gifts. Got my Nintendo Switch Lite, which I've been, and so that's good. And so I'm doing my show. Tomorrow is Father's. Oh, come on. This is going to be a pain in my ass, isn't it? Just for once, can I just go one day without having an issue like this? But it says that I'm having some bandwidth issues, whatever, I'm assuming. So let's try to get through all this as quick as we can. So what do we got going today? We got a lot of information about Pokemon. We got a lot of information about Fortnite because the new season started, and Pokemon had an interesting thing about going on. Juneteenth is in the news. Ian Holm, big-time actor, died this week. Devolution, a great novel by Max Brooks. Finish that up. I'm going to try to sell that to you guys. Jaws is 45 years old today. It was released on June 20th, 1975. The asshole saying a bunch of stuff and doing stuff. The asshole had a pretty bad week this week. A lot of deaths. The movie theaters will be opening up with masks, but that wasn't how it was going to go down. Target is in the news twice for Juneteenth and also for minimum wage. A couple trailers, some actors and comic book creators, stuff like that, accused of not doing some good stuff. Floating jellyfish lights. A 2012 conspiracy theory saying that we're already dead, considering tomorrow we're supposed to have the end of the world again. So we'll see if that actually happens. It's Father's Day tomorrow. The Azure Tit, England's best bum is in the news. Animals, David Fincher. Psycho is 60 years old this week. Do you remember where you were on June 17th, 1994, and why is that a big deal? Some new openings, a new expansion pack for a good game. More COVID-19 diseases. Stephen King idea for a book. Baby monkeys. Mothman is in the news as well. Deadpool's head. We'll see about that. And a sports person abducted by aliens. Michael Jackson mask. Neptune is going to get the spotlight soon. And a drunk monkey. As just some of the stuff we're talking about. So I don't have all the deaths in one section today, so I'm going to be scattering it all over the place. So let's see. Let's talk about some of the big stuff this week. A bunch of the stuff I wrote early is heavy stuff. So let's talk about the big stuff first. Pokemon news. A lot of Pokemon news this week. Sword and Shield, which is their new game for the Switch, now has its first expansion. So you can download that now and play the expansion for that. They are bringing Mega Evolutions to Pokemon Go later on this year, which is a big deal for Pokemon fans. Pokemon Snap, a game that hasn't been seen for close to 10, 15 years, is coming back to Nintendo Switch. And basically the premise is you go to an island and you take pictures of Pokemon. Pretty simple as that. You also have Pokemon Switch, and basically the premise is you go to an island and you take pictures of Pokemon. Pretty simple as that. You also have Pokemon Smile, which is for younger kids, where the Pokemon, it's an app where Pokemon will teach your children how to brush their teeth properly. So that's pretty cool. The Pokemon Go Fest at the end of July. Tickets are on sale now. They've announced that Victini, who's one of the mythicals, will be available there. That's the 2-day event. They are keeping day 2's information under wraps. I think it's the Victini thing, though. Just talking about going to different locations and encountering different Pokemon, and then working together with other people at Pokemon Go Fest to do contests to unlock things. Plus, weeks before Pokemon Go Fest, you can help unlock more things as well by playing the game more. So just a lot of interesting info about Pokemon came out this week. Today, as I mentioned, also was Community Day. It was a lackluster Community Day with Weedle, which is one of the worst Pokemon out there. But personally, I caught 12 shiny. For my kids, I caught 5 each. So I caught, in the end, about 22. My wife caught 27 shinies. And that was it. So, I mean, it was just kind of a blah day. So that's going on about that. The Solstice event is going on also in Pokemon Go right now. Basically, that is Lunatone, and the Sun one is going to be popping up more often, as few as some other stuff too. So interesting things like that. Soul Rock, that's the other one. That's good. I've also been playing Fortnite, and now that I have my Switch, I'll be able to play it as my son does for the most part. Be easier to control, I think. I might be able to do a better job than I have been doing. But Season 3 started on Wednesday, and the live event was on Monday. Now, the live event was kind of bad because apparently the Fortnite servers were only allowing 12 million people on. And 8.4 million were stuck not being able to get into the live event, including myself and my son, both of which we were waiting in the queue, but we never got into the live event. But luckily, there were some people who were streaming it. We were able to watch the stream, even though we weren't physically in it, so we actually got to see it. And the only big thing was they released the Doomsday weapon, but instead what that did is it caused a mountain of water to hold back the storm, but it didn't really hold it back too well. It held it for a while and slowed it down. And then, so we'd had that for the whole day Monday, the whole day Tuesday. And then Wednesday morning, the wall fell and it it flooded the Fortnite map. So now it is like Waterworld with multiple places covered in water and only certain areas still with land. It flooded the Fortnite map. So now it is like Waterworld with multiple places covered in water and only certain areas still with land. And sharks are now in the game through henchmen that wander through the hole. Oh, for heaven's sakes, connection's unstable. Henchmen that wander throughout the whole map and kill you, and they're pains in the butt, but you can hear them by their music, so it's a pain in the butt. I don't like it as much, but that's just me. I was used to the other version. New bosses, new battle pass stuff, new vehicles. Aquaman is going to be the big skin. Stuff like that. So all kinds of interesting things about Fortnite going on right now. This new season goes until the end of August, and then they're going to have another new season pop up after that. So we'll see what happens. But supposedly the water will be receding throughout the next 2 months, and eventually by the end of August, right before the new season, the land will be back to pretty much normal as it was. So we'll see what happens. Ewan McGregor will be playing Jiminy Cricket in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I don't know if it's animated or if he's actually going to be playing Jiminy Cricket's going to be a computer-generated character and Ewan's going to do the voice. No, we'll find out. Hellraiser rights are going to be could be reverting back to Clive Barker, and he's dying to have them come back. Let's see if I can find that in my saved. I hope it's there. It should be in sports. Sports, see all. There it is, sports. No, one photo, so I thought I had something in here, but These are collections. Hold on, not collections. I want saved. Where's saved? Saved. There we go. See all. It should be here. I don't know why it's not here. See all. So I guess it's not here. Oh, well. There was a listing of all the stuff that happened on June 17th, 1994. That was the day of the white Bronco chase. Also, there was the hockey Stanley Cup winners had their parade. There was, I wish I could remember all this stuff. I thought I had it. Parade. There was, I wish I could remember all this stuff. I thought I had it in my saved, but apparently that's not the case. So, oh well. So, I guess we won't be talking about that then. So we'll just skip that and we'll move on to something else. But there was a lot of really interesting stuff. They did a 30 for 30 on ESPN about it, and I wish I would have. I could have sworn I put it in there, but that's all right. I'll be talking about this movie later, or this book later on. But the Legendary Films has acquired the rights to Max Brooks's Devolution. I will give my review of that a little later in the show. Highly recommend it. That's all I can say now. Some death. Ilhan Omar's father died of COVID-19. She is a Muslim member of Congress. Ian Holm, actor, played Bilbo Baggins in the Lord of the Ring trilogy. Napoleon and Time Bandits, was an alien, was in From Hell, Chariots of Fire, a bunch of stuff. He passed away this week. Sarah Higazi, an Egyptian LGBTQ plus activist who was tortured for flying a pride flag, died by suicide this week. I'm not so sure if it was suicide, considering all the stuff that's been going on this week as well. Maggie, the oldest dog in the world, dies at the age of 30. Gene Kennedy Smith, the last surviving sibling of John F. Kennedy, passed away this week as well. Dame Vera Lynn, who was a World War II sweetheart and was a face for propaganda for the good side, died at the age of 103. A wife of U.S. Representative Andy Barr died at the age of 39 suddenly. Pat Briner, the gopher puppeteer on Caddyshack, died at the age of 70. Florida protester Oluwatoyin Salu, killed in Tallahassee after going missing. Again, weird stuff happening. So that's the big deaths going on. The scary deaths going on is we've been having all these protests lately, and apparently there have been, as of this week, 7 lynchings down south over a period of 2 weeks, and every single one, the police are declaring it was a suicide, which is absolutely stupid. And the asshole in charge took it and ran with it, saying that these people killed themselves by hanging to make him look bad, which is absolutely awful take on things. And the fact that they were called suicides and not what they really were lynchings. So it's a scary thing happening down the south. It hasn't, luckily, maybe it's died down, which is still not good, but there hasn't been a new lynching in a while. So hopefully things have died down, or things are starting to get out in the open a little bit. So hopefully justice will come to those 7 who were found hanging and were declared as suicides, which is absolutely ridiculous. The asshole in charge also declares that people wearing masks are not wearing them for preventing the disease, but are actually preventing it to make him look bad. Again, everything's about him. It's all about him, and it makes you want to go out there and punch him in his face. Then what else do we have? Aunt Jemima to be removed from syrup and pancake mixes due to its racial identity and stuff like that. I could care either way. I don't get Aunt Jemima, really. I get Mrs. Butterworth for the most part. But I can see where it is kind of a thing. And then the people who could give a rat's ass about syrup and pancake mix, and the same thing with Confederate statues, you could give a rat's ass about them. All of a sudden, when they get removed, they're like, oh, what's going on? And that's a bunch of bullshit also. Also, we've got some asshole police officers. 3 police officers in New York claim that they were poisoned at Shake Shack. which eventually was proven to be an untrue statement, and they have yet to apologize. But that their first thought was that they were poisoned in order to continue the strife that's going on now. Another policewoman was melting down in a video after it served 10 to 15 minutes to get her Egg McMuffin and coffee from McDonald's. It's a pandemic. These workers have been working their asses off and possibly getting infected because they have to keep their jobs and they're open for stuff like that. And they're busy because everybody wants their stuff and it's a breakfast thing. And just because you're a police officer does not give you any special privileges to get stuff beforehand. So again, some more ridiculous stuff from the police drive me absolutely bonkers. On the good side, Juneteenth, which is June 19th, yesterday, has now been declared a paid holiday in Virginia. It has been declared as a regular holiday in Maryland, not a paid one right now. They're going to wait to see what the federal government does. If they're going to do a federal declaration of it being a paid holiday. Target, I have that somewhere else. Target, Nike, Target, and Twitter are all making Juneteenth a paid company holiday. Juneteenth is the day that the final slaves were told that they were free, June 19th, 1865. The Emancipation Proclamation, which pretty much freed the slaves, was done in 1863, but because of the way communication was back then, slaves in Texas were not aware until after the Civil War was over, and it was on June 19th, 1865. So now it is becoming a national holiday, and that asshole is claiming that he brought it up and made it as big as it is now, and no one's ever known about it since then, which is bullshit, because I posted something on Facebook 3 years ago about Juneteenth, so you can just shove it up your ass, you dumb, diseased Alzheimer motherfucker who's at his stupid Tulsa rally, which he claimed that millions of people had signed up for tickets, and then so he opened up a second stage for a second speech and discovered that even half of this 30,000 arena in Tulsa, Oklahoma is not even filled. And so they had to dismantle the second area because they've only gotten 15,000 people here and not the 1 million they claimed. There's talk that a bunch of young teenagers decided to screw with him and ordered a bunch of tickets to make it seem like it was a lot and then not show up, which is absolutely brilliant, to be honest, because of this hate rally, which is what it is. It's all white people and there are no masks, and they have to sign a waiver that if they catch COVID-19, they won't sue the government, which is also a bunch of bullshit. So I don't want to go so far as to say I hope they get COVID-19, but damn, I'm almost hoping that they do. But I don't want anyone to get... You know how it is. It's a hard measure to weigh things up. So D.L. Hughley was hospitalized after passing out on stage yesterday. Hopefully he'll be okay, and we'll keep an eye on him, make sure he will be okay. There's a theme park that allows kids to operate construction machinery. I think I might have talked about this one earlier, but there it is. Baltimore's in phase 2 now. Malls, gyms, and other stuff are now open. More and more things are opening up. We'll probably have another bigger opening next week for more things. Movie theaters will be opening up in early July, around July 12th. I believe AMC said that that's when they're going to open up. But the Baltimore Zoo will be opening up at the end of the 27th, something like that, next weekend, I believe, which is good. I will be actually taking a vacation from June 29th to July 3rd. We'll be going down to outside of Ocean City, Maryland, a place called Frontier Town, which is a water park, amusement park, mini golf camp area with a bunch of other of my kids' scouts friends. So it should be good. I thought it wasn't going to be till August, and then I'm surprised that it's only 9 days away. So all next week, we're going to have to get groceries and pack and get stuff, and then we're going to have to go on Monday the 29th. So we'll see what happens. I haven't seen this yet. There's a new show called Cursed about a female version of King Arthur. I haven't seen the trailer yet, but Frank Miller's involved in some form or another. So go ahead and check that out, called Cursed. Also, Warrior Nun, which was based on a comic book that Antarctic Press did. They have their new trailer out. I watched it. It just seemed kind of cheesy. It's for Netflix. kind of a cheesy sort of show. So, if you're, it's new content. So, if you're still going to be inside and need new stuff, they'll be coming up really soon. Also, there's a new game show called The Floor is Lava. Let's see if I can find that around here. Also on Netflix. There it is, which, is a race where you can't touch the floor because the floor is lava and you got to make your way across obstacles in a room and stuff like that. So people are declaring it the new big show on Netflix. So those are all stuff you can start checking out now. As I mentioned before, AMC, Cinemark, Regal, a couple other ones are all saying they will be opening up for partial occupancy in early to mid-July. Originally, AMC said you will not need to wear masks to go see the movies, but then when everybody was freaking out about that and were declaring that we weren't going to go to the movie theater without our masks, they turned around and said, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're going to need to wear your masks." And Cinemark and Regal and all of them have already said that they're going to be mandatory also. Regal says that it will be to full capacity by November is their hope right now. So they'll be doing it gradually from July to November to go from half occupancy to full occupancy. So we'll see what that has for films coming out in July. The first one will be on July 12th, which is when they're saying theaters are going to open. It's a horror film. And then supposedly July 19th is when I think Mulan was supposed to come out, and I don't think that's been moved yet. So they're staying place. And then Tenet was going to be July 31st. And then some other stuff. So there's nothing really big because all the big ones, all the summer big movies have been moved now. And I gave you the list last week to October, November, and into next year as well. So we'll see what is going on. As I said, today was my birthday. I talked about my birthday already. It's the summer solstice today, 5:43 p.m. So now we are officially in summer right now. Tomorrow is Father's Day. It's also the end of the world, supposedly. So we'll see. But Father's Day tomorrow, we're going to do a Father's Day visit to my wife's my father-in-law. So that'll be good with their family. So that'd be fun. And a lot of interesting. I haven't done a Check I Day in a while, but I will do a Check I Day for June 20th because that's my birthday. It's my birthday, birthday. Let's see. There we go. Check I Day. What are we starting with? June 21st, June 21st, June 21st, June 21st. June 20th is American Eagle Day. Anne and Samantha Day. Belmont Stakes was supposed to be today. It's not, obviously. Cuckoo Warning Day. International Ragweed Day. International Surfing Day. National Daylight Appreciation. National Hike with a Geek Day. National Ice Cream Soda Day, National Koing Aman Day, National Seashell Day, National Smoothie Day. Whoops, no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, crap. Where are we? National Vanilla Milkshake Day, New Identity Day, Nystagmus Awareness Day, Plain Yogurt Day, First Day of Summer, Longest Day, Toad Hollow Day of Thank You, World Humanist Day, World Juggling Day, World Peace and Prayer Day, World Productivity Day, World Refugee Day. And that's all just today, So we'll see what happens. So that was good. And that one's done. The Eskimo Pie is going to be changing its name due to the derogatory term of Eskimo. So I don't know what they're going to change it to, but this whole thing is going, spiraling. And it's good, all kinds of stuff happening and changes coming as well. Apex Legends, a game similar to Fortnite, will be coming to the Nintendo Switch in the fall. My son's friend plays it when he's not playing with my son. But, now if we get this and my son wants to be interested in it, then they can play that as well. Stranger Things 4's complete season scripts are done. So they are done. They just need to get ready to restart filming again. Speaking of that, Gaten Matarazzo's cousin unfortunately passed away in a car accident this week. So he's, doing stuff to try to help his family about that. The bad week continues for that asshole. I talked about some of the stuff already has been going on. He also had a number of Supreme Court judgments go against him, including that you cannot be fired from your job if you are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, whatever, anything like that. They are protected by the Civil Rights Act that came through there, so you cannot do that. The DACA has been where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay. DACA has been okayed. So you has been where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay. DACA has been okayed. So you cannot, that's the to help educate illegal immigrants' children. So called the Dreamers, to get them to become straight up good American citizens. That was upheld. They were trying to shut that down, and sanctuary laws were held up. Were held up as well, despite the asshole's challenge to try to shut them down. So he had a pretty bad day. Plus, John Bolton, who is kind of an asshole anyway, because he should have did all this stuff for during the impeachment trial. Is his book. Asshole was trying to make sure that it wouldn't go for sale, because it makes revealed a bunch of secrets that of illegal activities that he did, and he tried to stop that. That didn't work either, so his book can come out now. And then the New York Attorney General, there's a whole scandal that's just been starting last night when Attorney General Barr said he was stepping down. The New York Attorney General was stepping down, Berman, and Berman said, "I'm not stepping down. I never said I was." And then then Barr said that he has a letter from the president saying that the president has fired him. And yet when they asked the president's like, "I'm not involved with that. It's all about Barr." So someone's stories aren't matching up. So again, it's more scandals continue on this terrible asshole presidency, which I hope we can get rid of soon than later. A giant squid washed ashore on South African shore, so proof that giant squids do exist. A intact giant squid washed it, so it was completely intact, so they'll be able to study it in general, which is good. Jaws, the movie that made hundreds of people, thousands of people scared to go swimming, came out on this date, June 20th, 1975, when I was 2 years old. And so that makes it its 45th anniversary. So it's 45 years old today. It's considered a classic and one of Spielberg's best films, and made his name, well, the 1-2 punch of that in Close Encounters. And then in the 80s when he hit Raiders and E.T., and then it just spiraled from there. That asshole also claims that he learned some interesting things about Roswell, and he may be revealing those secrets about Roswell soon. So, okay. Great, I guess. The protests that have been going on over the last couple of weeks, everyone was afraid that it would cause a spike in COVID-19 cases. It has not as of now. The one thing that has been causing a spike is people in Florida and Oklahoma and Texas and Arizona just going to restaurants and stores and to the beach without masks or any protection, and not doing 6 feet distancing. And their COVID-19 cases have shot up to record levels in all those states. Casinos, people, Vegas sees an increase in COVID-19 infections 2 weeks after they opened. So obviously the thing is, the people who were doing the protests, they were keeping their social distancing, they had their masks on, had their sanitizer, stuff like that. So they were okay. But everybody else who hasn't been doing that stuff has now been getting sick and shutting things up. Florida bars are closing because of that. A friend of mine from high school who owns a muffin shop down in Florida. She is taking extra precautions, and she's taking things back to the way they were before. Everyone thing was opened wide because she's afraid things are going to go south again. So she wants to nip it in the bud. So good for her. So I'm glad that is going on. I'll find it eventually in here as well. So huzzah on that. Gwyneth Paltrow's new candle is now called Smells Like Her Orgasm. I don't know what an orgasm would probably smell like, but there we are. John Landis will be directing Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stan Lee's Superhero Kindergarten, which is actually a cartoon. So it's not like he's going to be directing the actor. It's just going to be, I guess he's going to be directing an animated show, Stan Lee's Superhero Kindergarten, which is basically Schwarzenegger's kindergarten cop, but for superheroes. So, yeah. The Walking Dead comic has been shut down now for a couple years, but it was announced this week that a Negan one-shot, which brings back the team of Kirkman and Adlard, will be available in stores later this fall. So we're going to get a little bit more Walking Dead for your pleasure. Sahara Dust will be hitting the Gulf. Sahara Dust Cloud will be hitting the Gulf Coast this weekend. It's been blown across the world, and so I don't know what that's going to entail. If it's just going to be like haze or a fog or something, but yeah, there we go. A green glow was observed in Mars's atmosphere, and it's only green glows have only been visible in one other place, and that's Earth. So that's an interesting sign as well. Neptune, the planet that not a lot of people know about, is finally going to get some attention. There's going to be a probe going out that way, and Neptune's moon Triton, which is bigger than our moon, is going to be getting a visit from a spaceship called the Trident. See, Neptune, Triton, Trident, stuff like that. This is bad news. This could be very bad because if you haven't seen Jurassic Park, you don't know why. But dinosaurs should be coming back, the scientists say, anytime between now and 2025. So you might start seeing dinosaurs. Spacecraft from Earth has discovered 4,000 new. Geez, I'm unstable again. Has discovered 4,000 comets. So that's pretty cool. A 2,000-year-old ancient map was found on a volcanic rock in Mexico. So to the rock. Dozens of octopuses, or octopi, whatever you want to call it, are walking up onto shore for no apparent reason. There have been pictures of all these octopi coming out on shore for no one knows why or for whatever reason. Nick Cannon, Shia LaBeouf, Zac Efron, Kelly Clarkson are going to be all getting Walk of Fame stars in 2021. It's not that hard to get a Walk of Fame star anymore. You just need to sign a petition for like 45,000 people and then have someone sponsor it, and boom, you got it. Barking Kittens will be the new expansion for Exploding Kittens. I've gotten the game of Exploding Kittens, and it's 2 expansions so far. Streaking Kittens and Imploding Kittens. It's a fun game, and Barking Kittens sounds like it could be just as fun. The Simpsons iconic Lee Carvello's putting challenge, a video game joke, is now playable. You can actually play the game on your computer, I guess, download or app, whatever, and it's done in the same 6-bit style, 2-bit style, whatever. Astronomers find the planet Vulcan, which they call 40 Eridani A, right where Star Trek predicted it would be. So everyone knows the Vulcans, Mr. Spock, and so on and so forth, Sarek and all of them. Their home planet is Vulcan. And this planet, 40 Eridani A, was found in the exact area where Star Trek had said a planet would be in their show, which was just they didn't know this in the 1960s. They just threw out a destination and said, oh, this might be a possibility. And they actually checked it and found an actual planet there. So that's just kind of coincidental, but it's also kind of cool and funny. Japan reports that 80% of its overseas broadcast profits come from anime. I believe that because anime is huge over here, and I'm surprised it wouldn't be. It's huge over there as well. My family's still watching Haikyuu, My Hero Academia, stuff like that. So They also have a whole list of new ones that they're going to check out as well. Free Comic Book Summer. This was rumored way back in April and March, and then they said, "Oh, we'll figure out something else." And they've decided to go back to that. Now things are opening up again. Anywhere between July 15th and September 9th, every week, Diamond will be shipping 5 to 6 of the Free Comic Book Day books in their deliveries, and it's up to the stores to decide what they want to do. Do they want to give away their free comics every weekend to sort of, hey, get you back into our stores every weekend, we got free comics? Or are you going to pick a specific date and say, let's do it the day after Labor Day or on Labor Day or whatever, and get as many as you can on there and then put it out then? If they're leaving it up to the stores to decide what they want to do. So we'll see how that works out. But that's what they're deciding to do. Drunk Monkey bites 250 people and kills one after the booze runs out. So drunk monkeys are just like regular people as well. I want everybody out there to go to Amazon or go to your local bookstore, be it a mom and pop store or Barnes & Noble or whatever, and I want you to pick up a copy of Max Brooks's book Devolution. Came out this past Tuesday. I got it on Amazon, got it on Wednesday, and finished it by Friday. So it's a quick read. Max Brooks is the son of Mel Brooks, the director of Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, and the producers and all that. His previous books have been War Z and The Zombie Survival Guide. So he's only written 3 books, and the other 2 have been hugely popular as well. This one focuses on the Rainier Sasquatch Massacre. And the basic premise is sort of like a found footage, but it says where a writer, Max Brooks, is writing wants to do a research into a interesting story that happened. In his story, Mount Rainier, which is a extinct volcano, erupts and cuts off, destroys Tacoma, Washington, causes civil unrest in Seattle, cuts off roads for people for recovery, and then a sniper gets into trees to the only road in and out and starts taking out people. But that's just the main part, and it forces lots of plants and animals and stuff to die and stuff like that, forcing the animals to move more into the forest. What they didn't realize is that there is a new green society, self-sustaining green society created by a rich businessman called Greenpool. And it is about a self-sustaining 6-house and a common house community where everything is green. There's solar panels. Your heat is done by your waste, your shit, and your pee and stuff like that. The methane that builds up like that is channeled through and is able to create heat. There's self-sustaining food and trees, fruits and stuff like that around in the trees. But it is also technologically advanced. All the houses are smart houses controlled by iPads, doors, alarms, stuff like that. You can order your groceries or other stuff. They'll be delivered by drone or by an unmanned car. And the common house is where the groups get together and have parties and stuff like that. So we follow the different groups of people who live in Greenpool who get cut off from society when Mount Rainier blows up, and are visited by a pack of big feet who have been pushed into their area due to the disaster, and they're not very kind, so they start attacking the townspeople, and the townspeople have to fight back. It is a vicious, violent, social awareness sort of book. It's fantastic. It's a fast read, easy, fun, interesting. I was looking at it. I've already got the movie trailer. As I said, Legendary has already bought the rights to it. I already see the movie trailer. I already see what actors I want to be, which characters, and I want to direct it, but that's not going to happen. But I can totally see it, and it's fantastic. So it's highly recommended. Evolution by Max Brooks, available now. Highly recommended. A pro football soccer player claims to have been abducted by aliens. Yeah, it's very possible that could happen. Speaking of that, also, England's Miss Bam Bam, or Miss Bum Bum, excuse me, champ promises that she will strip naked if Chelsea wins the national championship. So go Chelsea. So you get Miss Bum Bum to strip naked, as what everybody wants to see. DC's Milestone revival is back on track. Milestone was a series of comics that were done primarily by African-American writers and artists, featuring African-American characters like Static Shock, and he's the big one. I forget the other ones. I collected some of them. They were really good. But Milestone is starting to come back now under all this Black Lives Matter and stuff going on with that. So I think that's a good thing to do that as well. Pokemon Go, I talked a little bit about that earlier. They're also going to be testing guaranteed encounters and free boxes, daily free boxes. I haven't really seen the daily encounter, but basically it's just one Pokemon pops up for you and that's it every day. Even if I think it's more for the people who live in areas where they don't get a lot of spawns. We get a lot of spawns, so it's not even a big deal. So if they popped up, I don't even know who it is, so it doesn't matter to me. And then the free box usually has 5 items in it, but it could be balls or anything like that. So that's pretty cool too. So you don't have to venture out if you can't because you're in quarantine. You'll be able to get stuff to help build up your stuff. Animorphs, which was a series of young adult books from the 90s, will be getting a movie. And hopefully people are hoping that'll be just as popular as the Harry Potter series, since Harry Potter is now a black guy due to J.K. Rowling's talk about gender and trans people. So we'll see what happens. A Michael Jackson mask is now available. Full mask of Michael Jackson is now available for Halloween or for your whatever pleasure. I looked at it. It's very realistic, and it looks like it might be my Halloween costume this year. So I'm going to see if I can find it, see how much it costs, and see if I can get it. So that'd be really cool. Speaking of that, also, Hasbro. This was really weird. Hasbro is going to be releasing a dead head, just the head, that will have a bunch of Deadpool quips and stuff like that. I think it's interactive too. And you can talk to it and do stuff like that. It's absolutely crazy. They had the ad they have for it has Deadpool's head in the refrigerator, and it's talking to somebody, and the guy's freaking out about it. So I think that's kind of funny if that's in case what they're going to be doing. So, there it is. Keep your eye out for that. Deadpool's head, severed head, interactive head is now available for your pleasure as well. Baby monkey and cat are friends. There's some cute video of a baby monkey that hangs out with a little kitten, and they're best friends. And it's always cute to see cool animals doing cool stuff like that as well. An animatronic spy pig, I guess, is a pig that's signed. It's animatronics. It's not real. Sit out and videotape animals in the wild and not be cause any upset or whatever, was destroyed by a Komodo dragon when it got pissed off by it. So that was kind of interesting as well. Speaking of that, the best headline of the day is feral pigs eat and destroy $22,000 worth of cocaine hidden in an Italian forest. They're called the coke boars. So feral pigs. And the meth gators are back in the spotlight again this week. Florida again saying don't flush your meth into your toilet because alligators can eat it and turn into crazy meth gators. But it's 2020, so coke boars and meth gators are typical. So our genetically engineered mosquitoes are now going to be released. They have been given the okay to be released. I don't know why someone would want to release a genetically engineered mosquito, but here we are. So hey, 2020 is going crazy. Australia's gotten hit with a bunch of fireballs. A blue fireball was filmed over the skies of Australia, and a day later, a green one was filmed over Australia. Now, the green one had a lot of people, half kidding, I would assume, saying that it was actually a Green Lantern ring looking for a new Green Lantern Corps member in Australia. So I think that's kind of funny when they did that as well. Hey, the Senate actually did something right. They passed a bill to fix national parks and public lands, despite the fact that they're trying to drill oil and take over those areas as well, and for money, stuff like that. But hey, maybe they're changing stuff out a little bit. Target has raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour. So now if you want to work at Target for minimum wage, it'll be $15 an hour. 260 people tested positive to COVID-19 at the Orlando airport. So the airports are getting a little bum rush there with COVID-19. Kristen Stewart will be playing Lady Diana in a new biopic. U.S. fighter jets are intercept 8 Russian warplanes near Alaska. The 4th time this week that Russian airplanes have been in American airspace, particularly near Alaska, which to me, as I said earlier, I was half joking that the Russians were going to be invading. Hey, maybe they are now, and they're just testing the waters right now. So we'll see. That's to be continued. I'm surprised it's not a bigger story, but here we are. Norway and Ireland have won UN Council seats from a vote that was done. So congratulations, Norway and Ireland now are the newest members of the United Nations. West Virginia wants to make statues of Mothman instead of Confederate statues. I think that's a great idea, and they should totally do that. Stephen King wants to write a book from the viewpoint of Jason Voorhees' perspective from Friday the 13th. He talked about that today. He said it's never going to happen because he's probably never going to get the rights, but he said this is what I've always wanted to do, so who knows, maybe they'll be able to work out a deal. It's hard because it is a licensed character that he does not own, so he would have to go through probably a lot of red tape, and the creators and stuff like that are going to have to sign off on it. He can't just do what he wants with it, so probably won't happen. Disney doubled up on their princess stuff this week. They're releasing princess wedding dresses and also princess dinnerware, which you can get at Target as well. So if you love your Disney princesses, you can now get wedding dresses based on the characters in the Disney movies that wear wedding dresses, like Ariel and a bunch of the other ones I can't think of right now off the top of my head. I think Belle has one also when she marries the Beast. Lucasfilm is developing a slate of interconnected live-action Star Wars Disney Plus films, or TV shows, I should say. So sort of similar to Clone Wars, Rebels, and stuff like that, but it's going to be live-action instead. So we'll see what happens about that. A new geothermal lagoon with swimming bar set to open in Iceland. Iceland loves their geothermal bars. That brand new one is out there. Hey, Barry Levinson, a Baltimore native, is back in the news this week. He'll be directing Michael Keaton, I Am Batman, in a Hulu TV show called Dope Sick, which is going to be about the opioid crisis. 8 episodes of that after Keaton finishes what he needs to do for his films. Dr. Pepper baked beans are a thing, and I'm not so sure if that's something interesting. Men behaving badly this week. Danny Masterson from That 70s Show was charged with 3 cases of rape. Cameron Stewart, Warren Ellis, and comedian Chris D'Elia. Cameron Stewart and Warren Ellis are comic book people, and Chris D'Elia is a comedian, have all been accused of misconduct this week as well. So been a lot of misconduct this week. Someone just captured the clearest picture of the Loch Ness Monster ever. I didn't really get a chance to see it, but it's pretty like the ones that we've seen before. Tomorrow's Father's Day, but also last week it was announced that there's a scientist that believes that the Mayan calendar was wrong, or not was wrong, but that everyone thought that the world was going to end on December 21st, 2012. But they did not take into effect the changing of the calendars that's happened during that time frame, and that we are actually in 2012 now, and that the end of the world is actually going to be tomorrow, June 21st, 2020, instead of 2012, because of the change in the calendars during the time of the Mayans and to now. So, hey, we'll see if that's another one. Again, we haven't had a good end of the world date for a while, so let's see if that's the case. Who knows? It could very well be. So we'll see tomorrow. Who knows? It could very well be. So we'll see tomorrow. So we'll either have a new episode of Dylan Knows next week or we won't. So there we go. But another conspiracy theory about 2012 is that they believe that we actually did die on December 21st, 2012, and that life now is a simulation, much like The Matrix. Now, again, I think somebody saw too much of The Matrix, but there we go. A raft of sea otters perform an it was not planned. They did just off the cuff, unintentional synchronized swimming routine across an inlet. So they just so happened to be that they were all in sync crossing the inlet, and it just happened to be a synchronized swimming. So it's kind of neat. David Fincher is directing a film I talked about last week called Mank, about Mankiewicz, who is a director from the golden age of cinema. This is a little viewpoint into David Fincher. David Fincher's mindset. Amanda Seyfried is in the film, and apparently that David Fincher had Amanda Seyfried film one scene for a week. So basically it took her a week to nail the scene the way Fincher wanted it. So, you thought that Stanley Kubrick was a fanatic about stuff like that. Apparently, so is David Fincher. FDA approves the first prescription video game for kids with ADHD. It's a game that was created that is going to help kids focus. It's been tested, and it shows that it's actually been working pretty good for the kids so far. So we'll see if that continues to happen. The Eternals, would have been Marvel's second movie this year, but now will not come out till 2021. The reshoots will be happening for that very soon, so that one will be set and ready to go. I think it's for March or February of next year, so it'll be early next year. Black Widow will be out in November. Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's film, is 60 years old this week, so it came out in 1960. It's 60 years old now. It's one of the films you can put in your top 10, top 15 twist endings movie list if you want to. Pretty good movie. Just a lot of people claim it might be his best movie. I don't think that's true. I think Vertigo is, but it's still interesting. We talked about Neptune. Let's go back to Titan. Dry lake beds have been found on Titan as well, which is showing some discoloration on certain pictures that have been shown recently. The TV show 30 Rock will be returning for a one-time show. So if you're a fan of 30 Rock, keep your eyes out for that. I already did it. Previously unknown Black Plague strain was found in a 5,000-year-old Swedish ruin. So, hey, something else I need to worry about for this year. Band-Aid is creating different colored bandages that mask different skin colors. Match different skin colors, I should say. Man files an HR complaint against his cat while working from home. I don't know if he did that with his actual company or if it was just a joke. I'm not sure, but still kind of funny. 36 alien races could inhabit the Milky Way, a study says. So if there are aliens out there, there could be as many as 36 of them out there. So go figure. I guess you've got the Greys, the Lizards, the Scandinavian blonde hair, blue eye ones. What are some of the other ones they talk about? No, those are like the major ones. I don't know if there's any real other ones but they say there's at least 36 other ones as well. So San Diego Comic-Con has been canceled, but they will be doing a virtual Comic-Con starting July 22nd, and stuff will be free for everybody to go in and do stuff. I guess they'll have a sales area, and you can talk to creators and stuff like that. But DC has decided they want to host their own Comic-Con. They're calling it DC Fandome, which is stupid. But just a long line of stuff that DC's doing that's really stupid anyway. But it's going to be around the same time as San Diego, so I guess it's going to be, if you don't want to do San Diego, you just want to do DC stuff, come to Fandome. You can hang out with our DC guys. Because I guess they're not going to be involved in San Diego. Flushing a toilet may fling COVID-19 aerosols all over. So, hey, watch out when you flush those toilets. COVID-19 might be flying around in there. There they are. Florida bars shut down. I already talked about that. North Korea decided they were going to blow up their liaison office with South Korea, which has created tension in that area. So, hey, you know what? Maybe the end of the world's coming. We got that tension there. I think India and China have some sort of tension going on also. And then our country's in total ruins right now. So, hey, we got all kinds of fucked up shit going on. A new island appears in the South Pacific thanks to a volcano. Volcano erupted underground, created this new island. So there's a new island that nobody's ever been on before out in the middle of the South Pacific. So, hey, go for it and, make it your own. Ex-eBay staffer sent spiders and roaches to harass a couple. So they would pack up spiders and roaches in boxes and send it to this couple, and they would open it and the spiders and roaches would come out. I don't understand that, why someone would be so obsessed about that, but whatever. Delta and American Airlines are going to be barring alcohol on planes, so you will not be able to drink alcohol on any Delta or American Airlines flights in the near future once they get off the ground. These are really cool looking floating jellyfish lights for your pool. They're really neat looking lights that float in your pool so you can swim at night, and it goes and makes it really, really kind of cool looking. Lickable screens can now replicate taste and flavor of food. I don't know why you would want to have a picture on your phone of like an ice cream and then lick it and then say, hey, that's and flavor of food. I don't know why you would want to have a picture on your phone of like an ice cream and then lick it and then say, hey, that's vanilla ice cream. I don't know why you would want that. But hey, technology, I guess. Beetlejuice is all weird. The star, it was dimming, then it was fine, then it was dimming again, and now it's dimming and it's bent out of shape. So we have no idea what's going on. Scientists don't know what's going on. So they are looking into that and keeping an eye on it. So Beetlejuice is acting weird. So we thought, okay, it's going to go supernova. And I said, oh, no, wait, it's fine. I said, wait, it might now because it's all fading again and getting all weird, bent out of shape. So it could already be going supernova right now. We wouldn't know for a little while. Quentin Tarantino, we all know about his different, setting his films in the same universe, stuff like that. Well, an interesting theory came out this week that suggests that Leonardo DiCaprio, who was the bad guy in Django Unchained, is actually, because of kind of the inconsistencies with history and the way things are, is actually DiCaprio's character from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Rick Dalton, playing the character in Django Unchained in a movie. That Django Unchained is not a real event, but is actually a movie starring Rick Dalton, who was played by Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Get all that? It's an interesting theory, I guess. Ted Cruz wants Ron Perlman to wrestle Jim Jordan. Ron Perlman is a very outspoken Democrat and has been outspoken against Matt Gaetz and Ted Cruz and other people. And Ted Cruz decided he was going to try to be a tough guy. So he said that, he said that let's set up, I want you to, a Republican who is being sued for not detailing the sexual abuse that happened to college students and wrestling, champs under his care. He just looked the other way. And so they're calling him Jim, G-Y-M Jordan, because of that. But Ted Cruz just said, yeah, go ahead. You're not going to be able to beat, Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan had nothing to do with this. It was just a name that Ted Cruz put out. So Ron Perlman was like, dude, why are you, you're threatening me, but you want me to fight somebody else? Why don't we just fight? Because apparently you really want to fight me. And Ted Cruz was like, no, you're a coward. You don't want to fight Jim Jordan. You're going to lose. I was like, no, that's not it at all. Moron. Fox News falls for a Monty Python joke during a report criticizing the Seattle protests. Now, remember, Seattle has taken over an area around a police department, and they are running their own little country, as it were. So Fox News sent in a reporter, and they played a conversation that they heard between two people, saying that nobody knows who's ruling the area, and it's all crazy, and that it's disorganized, stuff like that. So they said, see, the Seattle protesters, so they don't know what they're doing. If you read the bit, it's a verbatim joke from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which is exactly the point of what they were doing. They were making a joke, and Fox News took it as being real because it proved that the Seattle protests were not right, when in reality, the Seattle protests are actually perfect. And they use this Monty Python joke as a sign that it's not. They didn't realize it was a Monty Python joke because they're stupid asses. The azure tit is actually a blue and white bird, similar to a bluebird, but it's very beautiful. But I just wanted to say the name azure tit. The fired COVID-19 data collector for Florida, who was fired in Florida because they were saying it's bad, you need to do something about it. They were saying it's bad, you need to do something about it. They were fired because of that. They're creating their own dashboard so they can follow new cases and get the word out. I was like, don't listen to what they're saying. This is what's really happening. 4 loyal geese follow and protect grandmother as a woman who lives by herself, and 4 geese happen to be on her property, and they follow her everywhere and they protect her. Someone tries to mess with her, they attack and squawk and go after them. Oakland, speaking of other birds, Oakland is forced to close a rose garden after a turkey who's hanging around it won't stop attacking people. So which is I'm almost done anyway, so just let this roll here for a little bit, and there we go. I'll be done soon. It airs in February. It's now going to air in April due to the way the movie industry is, with them being bottom heavy with all the movies coming out in October to December. So they did instead, in order to do that, they've extended the award. The award eligibility now is for movies released from January 1st, 2020 to February 20. Includes all new films that popped up on streaming, including Amazon, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all those ones. The nominations will be announced on Monday, March 15th. And on April 30th, the Academy Museum, which they talked about last year, will actually be open. So it's a big deal as well. So that's the schedule for the Academy Awards. Now, I'm going to end today's quick-paced birthday episode because I've got some plans for tonight. I'm going to end tonight's episode with something that makes me laugh and cringe at the same time, and is sort of connected to Father's Day coming up. A married couple, they just got married. They say, okay, now that we're married, of sexual intercourse to get pregnant, then carry the kids for 9 months, and then they're born. Someone didn't teach these kids about where babies. No one taught this couple where baby came from. So they were waiting for children, not knowing they needed to have sex and get pregnant to have kids for watching the show. So a bit of adieu to you. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Last day of school was for the kids this week, for my kids anyway. So summer break starts for them. Summer is officially underway right now. So everything's coming together. So next week should be interesting. I'll probably be doing my show just before we go on vacation, and then we'll see how things go. I'll end up maybe doing a 4th of July episode, since 4th of July is on a Saturday this year. I'll probably do an episode at 4th of July. So we've got 2 more episodes. We've got another episode coming up this weekend, or this upcoming weekend before I go on vacation. So thanks for everybody. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Thanks for watching the show. Happy Father's Day to you all, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully I will too.